Hello, good evening. Good to see you. Welcome. Amina, Paranti, welcome. Amina, Raul, nice to see you. Valerie, nice to see you. Juliana, nice to see you. Hey, Vic. Hey, Ruthvik. All right, so let's get going. Let's try. So welcome, guys. Welcome to the session. We're gonna do angles and triangles. Okay, so we're gonna start on with this particular topic. In just a few minutes, we just wait for a few more people to join. But yeah, hey, lad. Yeah, Deliana. Then, well, this topic is important, right? So we'll see how things work out. Okay. So let's see how things are going. Okay. So let's get started with a few topics on angles. So we are going to talk about angles, and then we'll also talk about triangles. Right? We're going to look at the most important problems here. So last time we did algebra. We finished the algebra section. Now we are onto the geometry section. So this time we're going to do angles, triangles. On Friday, we'll do circles, trig, and volumes, right? So we'll wrap that up. And then after that, we'll do data. But before that, maybe on Sunday, we'll have like a real test solving session. So we'll practice we'll do a test together. Okay, so let's get started. By the way, before that, let me just introduce myself here. My name is Ash, and this is the 20-hour SAT bootcamp. Right, one of the sessions. This is one of the sessions. This is the Geometry 1 session here, angles and triangles. Okay. Hey, Hamza. Angles and triangles session. Okay. So again, we did the linear equations, system of equations, etc. And then next time we're going to do circles. How the session works is there's 10 hours of instructions about these topics, and there's a few hours of test solving. Then there's some tests. Then you yourself, I send you the test usually afterwards. And if you want, you can join the session, right? So I explain my techniques and shortcuts, some important practice problems we're going to see today, and then I'll send you some more problems, and then you solve them. If you have any questions, you can come back, right? And this is how it works. We are kind of over here today, angles and triangles. Okay, so we finished the algebra. We're into the geometry section, and then we move to the data part. Okay, so let's get going. So the most important part of angles, and by the way, this session is recorded now, right? This session is recorded. So this session, of course, people will get it, and everybody else will also get it who are here for the trial session. Okay, so here it is. Let's get started. If you have a line, if you have a straight line, and then you got another line over here. Let's say this is 50, right? Then this other one is going to be such that this angle plus this angle is 180. Right? Super. Well done. Nice. Excellent job. So 130 plus 50, right? That gives you 180, right? 130 plus 50 is 180. Now, let's say you've got another piece here, which is vertically opposite. Okay, vertically opposite. So this angle is same as this. Okay, so if this is 25, then this is 25, right? And then again, remember this vertically opposite is interesting because it's also got the supplementary over here. So this is 25 and this is 155. Very good. Then this is 25 and then again this is 155, right? Super easy. That's the second thing. The second thing that we do. Well done, lad. Okay. Now the third thing is going to be the angles in a triangle. Okay, the angles in a triangle. So super easy. Again, you've done this many times before probably. If this is 80, And then this is exactly the angles in a triangle add up to 180. So add this, this, and this. So if this is 60, this is 80, then you can clearly see what this is. This is 40, right? This is 40, right? Now, how can you extend this idea? So there's one last piece, which is a kind of like a shortcut to thinking about it. The SAT has asked this many times. So what is the measure of this angle here, right? So the measure of this angle, because this is 40, right? Because this is 180, all of these, this becomes 140. But now the shortcut is that this 140, you don't even need this. This 140 is actually equal to 60 plus 80 immediately. Okay, well done, Pranati. So 60 plus 80 gives you 140, right? So that's immediately will give you your answer. Um, okay, so let's move on. Hey, Ben, the exterior angle. So you can call it the exterior angle property because it's kind of like outside, outside the angle. So we call it the exterior angle. These are all the interior angles. So the exterior angle property is this. Okay. Now let's do one real quick. Okay. Let's say you've got, it looks weird like this, for instance, right? But it's got, let's say this one is 100 and this one is 40. So how much is this? How much is this? 140, this 140, right? Super easy to realize it, right? Very easy. So real quick, you can save a lot of time on this, right? Now so these are the four. Remember, the four properties are supplementary, vertically opposite, angles in a triangle are 180, and then the last one is kind of like combine the supplementary with the angles, and then you get this extra piece here. Okay. Okay, so super easy. Let's see if we've got a few problems to solve based off of this one. Okay. All right. So another piece of information, right, before we start is always try to fill in the angles. So let's say you've got something like this. Suppose you've got one angle over here. Okay. I didn't draw it very well. Sorry. So you've got one angle over here. Okay. Let's say you've got this angle to be 150, right? And this angle to be 60. And they're asking you, what is this angle? So what do? You immediately look at this triangle and think, oh, this is a triangle, right? So I need to somehow use it. Somehow I need to get all of the angles. So you try to find out this angle. This is 30, okay? This is 30 here, right? Once you have this, 60 plus 30 is 90. So then this one will also be 90, right? Because this plus this is 180, right? So that's 90. And so this one is 90 because it's vertically opposite. So you see what you're using here is you go into supplementary angles here, then you're doing the 180-degree idea, and then you're using vertically opposite here, right? So you see there's a lot of ideas here involved. And that's what they'll ask you. They'll ask you to combine all of these ideas. So with that, let's try, I think this problem many of you might have done, but let's try to solve this problem again here. Okay, and I'll just post this problem here, and then we can start solving it. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so try to solve the same problem this way. They're asking you, again, they're asking you what is the value of x. If there's a triangle, find out what are the various angles of this. This is 106, so first find out what is this. Super easy, right? Super easy to solve, to find this, right? Because this plus this is 180, right? So you can find this one, right? 74, right? This is 74. And then you don't even need to do anything a whole lot, right? X is equal to 74 plus 27 because it's the exterior angle, right? So this one is 74, very good, because this plus this is 180, right? 106 plus 74 is 180, right? So this is 74, and now you just take this plus this is equal to x, and then you're done, right? Which is 97. Or you can calculate this angle by doing 74 plus 23 plus this guy, and then x minus that, right? So it's going to give you the same angle, right? So you can do it, but the shortcut is just to immediately start seeing this as a shortcut, as a faster way, right? This is just equal to this plus this, and you're done. But you can also calculate this. A variety of ways of doing this. You can easily calculate this value, right? Because this is supplementary. You know, this is vertically opposite. This is again supplementary. This is supplementary. This is vertically opposite. All of these angles you can calculate, right? Okay, does that angle with 106 and 74. So this angle, this guy, this over here is 180, right? This equals 180. And then this one, if you want, is 180. So remember, this is supplementary because it's got one line and then other line cuts it. So this is 106, and then the other guy is 74. So remember, this whole line is, because it's a straight line, it's this plus this is 180. Okay, hopefully that made sense to you, Hamza. Okay, let's try. So I think this was a good problem. It mixed a lot of things. Now let's try another problem, which is going to include algebra in it. Okay, so first let's try to find a simple problem this way: x plus, let's say, 4x plus let's say sorry, x plus 3x plus 5x. Okay, so try to find the value of x here. Find the value of x. So, so remember, now you're not given any of these, right? But again, you got a triangle. As soon as you see a triangle and they're asking for angle, just use that 180-degree property, right? So x plus 3x plus 5x is equal to 180. Now you can add these together to get 9x is equal to 180, right? And then so x is equal to 180 divided by 9. And so that gives you 20. So that's 20, right? So this is 20. This is going to be 20. This is going to be 60. And then this one is 5, so this is going to be 100. So you can see 20 plus 60, that's 80 plus 100. 20 plus 60 plus 80 gives you 180 indeed, right? So that works, right? That's your answer. Okay, there might be another problem. Let's try, let's see if there's another problem of this type. Let me see. Yeah, try this one. Okay, and I'm not going to give you the answer. Like, okay, so try this one now and see what's the value of 3x. Remember, they're asking the value of 3x. Okay, be careful. Well done, Pranti. Okay, remember x plus 2x plus 3x, right? X plus 2x plus 3x. You add them, right? So you have something like this, right? You have x plus 2x plus 3x, right? So you've got x plus 2x plus 2, sorry, x plus 2x plus 2x, my bad. X plus 2x plus 2x here, not 3x, is equal to 90, right? Why is it 90? Remember, this guy is 90 here, and so this guy is also 90, an important thing to remember. Yeah, Pranati is becoming like Rosie. All right, Nigel. So 5x is equal to 90. Yes, we convert everybody to Rosie over here. This is a Rosie generating machine. So everybody, everybody improves their speed. Okay, so this is gone, and 90 over 5 is 15. So x is equal to 18. Okay, so well done. Those of you got it. Remember 3x. They're asking 3x. So it's 54. Right? Very good. So excellent job uh, on this. One more thing to remember is quadrilaterals. Okay, well done, David. So quadrilaterals. The total sum in a quadrilateral is 360. Why is that? Because remember, a quadrilateral is just two triangles. If you draw a line across, it's just two triangles, right? So this plus this plus this is 180. This plus this plus this is 180. In other words, get rid of that. This plus this plus this plus this is 180. Okay. Um, right. So like this. So now remember, um, yes. So what's the formula for that? The formula is n minus 2 times 180. Okay, n minus 2 times 180. So in a polygon. Okay, so if this has got n sides, right? This has got 4 sides. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, right? So you're going to take 4 minus 2 times 180. Okay, that's not as frequently asked, but this is good to know. So 2 times 180, and that's equal to 360. Okay, so that's why it's 360. But I think you understand what's going on here, right? Now let's try a very similar problem of this type. Let's say you've got x plus 2x plus, let me think about it, 3, maybe 4x. Okay, and this angle over here is going to be, let's say, 100. Sorry, not 100, 80. Okay, so let's find the value of x now. Great, great, Valerie, Vanity, Lad, Amina, Nigel, very good. And people who are new to the bootcamp, Hamza, excellent. Yeah, please feel free to participate, guys. With that participation, you're not just watching it like this, like you're watching a YouTube video. By the way, YouTube is down. What's the deal with that? First time in like ever, YouTube is down, or at least was down. Crazy. I thought I got banned. I thought my YouTube channel, they had some kind of weird thing and they banned me, and I was like nervous. Whoa, what happened? I got banned already. But anyway, so hopefully everything is fine. All right. Anyway, so what do you do here? X plus 2x plus 4x, that's 7x, right? Plus 80 is equal to 360. Remember, it's 360 for the reason I just told you. Okay. Um, okay. So no, I didn't get banned. It's just like everybody's like YouTube is down. I don't know why. So 7x is equal to, so then you can quickly do it, subtract 80. So you get 280 here, right? 7x is 280. And then x is equal to 40 because 280 over 7. Remember though, they can ask you what is the value of like 5x. They can ask you all kinds of weird things, right? So remember, be careful what they ask. But in this case, they're asking x is equal to 40, so that works. Okay. Oh, it's back up now? Okay, perfect, perfect. So that's great. Okay, so this is good. Now let's try the next problem. Okay, super easy problems here sometimes. Yes, I'm bad. Okay, thanks for checking. Uh, all right, so all right, all right. So let's try this problem. This one also is going to be super easy. So I'm going to hide the multiple choices. Otherwise, it becomes very easy for everybody, especially for people who already remember some of this that we've done last time, right? So once again, people who have just joined the bootcamp and people who are on a trial session, please participate. I think it's just going to help you. Okay, it's a pure hands-on session over here, right? That's the difference between this session and just watching stuff on YouTube or any session. I'm just guiding you. I think you'll remember this more. So remember, here x is equal to 100, right? So this is 100 here. So like I said, first consider the first triangle. So this is 100, this is 20. So what can this be? This has to be 60. So this is 180, right? And now because of that, this is 60, right? Because this is vertically opposite. Remember, there's only 4 important things: supplementary, vertically opposite, angles in a triangle, and exterior angles. You don't even need the exterior angles. Just these 3 are good. Okay, so this is 60. 60 plus 40 is 100, and so therefore this is going to be 80, and that's what they're asking. Okay, which problem, Valerie? Hopefully you got it. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. So yes, and this is the angles and triangles sheet, right? So keep working on it. Like I'm going to send it to you. Many of you already have it who have attended the sessions before, but for whom this is a new session, right? I'm going to send this to you, even though you're part of the bootcamp or, this is a trial session for you. Okay. So it's got some great problems. They are selected directly from the SAT practice tests, publicly available tests, right? So important topics. Okay. The other important topic and very easy topic is this one. Angles, transversals. Okay, transversals. Okay, yeah, no reading today, just math. Okay, just math. Yeah, this is mostly a math boot camp. We do readings once in a while. If you join the boot camp, I'll give you the previous few sessions readings, recordings. Right, we've done some global conversations. We've done history passages. We've done global conversations. We've done lit. We've done social sciences and stuff like that. So you'll get some ideas. Okay, but today is purely a math session. And this is mostly a math bootcamp. Okay, so let's do this one and let's try 60 over here and 60 over, so you've got 60 over here, right? So what happens when you've got 60 over here is you've got 60 and then you've got all of these angles here, right? So all of these angles over here is 60, 60, 60, and 60 here, right? So all of these angles are 60. Yeah, Nigel, I've been teaching forever, right? But it was like a big break between last year and this year, right? Because nobody was coming in. So we paused it and we are back again. The boot camp was originally live in New York because that's where I live, right in Midtown. But now it's all online, and I actually decided to make a channel, etc. So kind of like recording it more, how can I say it, in a disciplined way. Okay, so 60, 60 here, 60 here, 60 here. And now remember this 60, because you got 60 here, you got 120 here, right? So remember, if there's always going to be an acute angle and an obtuse angle over here. So this is the acute, you've got 4 acute angles here, and you've got 4 obtuse angles here. Okay, so be careful of these angles. Okay, next piece. Let's try this angle over here. Okay, so you've got this particular angle. Now this one, let's say you're told this is 70. Okay, um, yes, you can have all right angles like this, right? You can have all right angles like this. You're right. So yes, that's an extreme case where you might have all right angles, right? So that's a good point, Valerie. Right. So this one is like over here, and then I'm gonna use a different line. Okay, that's going to be like this. Oops, like this. Okay, so now let's say if I tell you this is let's say this is 70. Okay, so if this is 70, guys, tell me what is this angle. Okay, so I'll wait for you to answer that. Yes, exactly right, because this is this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, they're all 70, right? Very good. Now if I tell you this is 85, right, then what is this angle? It's all 85, right? Excellent. Well done. Well done. Right. Thanks for your response. It really helps, right? 70 and 85. Now you're asked what is this angle? So 70 plus 85 plus x, right, is equal to 180. Right? So that gives you, so if you add these two, right, you get 155 plus x is equal to 180, and so x is equal to 25. So that could be an interesting problem, right? So this is your new thing that you know. In addition to the supplementary vertically opposite, the angles in a triangle, this is a new thing which they can add, right? Right, so that's another piece that you got to be mindful about. Okay, there are a few problems here which they're asking, but the problems are this problem is ridiculously easy. You can check it out. Very, very easy problem, so you don't need to worry about it. Let's move on to some more interesting pieces. Okay, parallel lines is done. Let's go to triangle. So that's it. That's the angles part, right? That's mostly the angles part. Right, try to solve the problems that I've given you. Also, if you have trouble with angles, I know one or two of you, I think Deliana, you said it. I've got some super drills here, okay? And this is again part of the boot camp. So people in my boot camp, right? You've got all of these pieces, right? So there's some angles part over here, right? So these are angles, okay? Transversals or parallel lines, exterior angle theorem, which is the one that we done. All right, Delina. So right, and then triangles, etc. All of these ideas, right? Even radians that we will be covering in the next session, right? Next lecture will be here. Triangle angle sum theorem. All of these ideas, right? So you can just click on this, go here onto the IXL, and then you can look at this and you can solve these, right? If you want more practice. This has got tons of it, right? You've got tons of this, and then you can work on it. Yes, Kamran. Yes, I do. Um, okay, so you've got tons of this practice to do. Um, but now, so you've got enough, but I think if you need, it's all over here. I've selected these particular problems for you. All right, now let's actually go to triangles. Okay, so now the triangles, they have many times asked what is the meaning of an isosceles triangle. Okay, so let's try to understand. There's two ways you can interpret an isosceles triangle. Okay, by the way, for people who are new and joining and in the trial session, all of this is recorded, so if it's too much, right, just try to stay at pace. You know, all the other people right now they've gotten used to it, so it might seem a bit too intense for some of you, but if it's not, then great. Okay, okay, so two sides are equal, and then if two sides are equal, then the angles are equal. Okay, exactly right, the corresponding angles are equal. But the less unknown one is, okay, uh, yes, these two sides are equal, these two angles are equal. Okay, and then the third one, you got to figure it out. So why don't we figure it out? Let's say this one is 40, not 40. Let's say this one is 80. So can you please tell me what is this angle equal to? Yes, because this is 80, so this is 80, right? So 80 plus 80 plus how much is 180? That's 20. 80 plus 80 plus 20 gives you 180, right? So that's why this is 20. Okay. The other one is, let's say they give you this angle, right? They don't even mention anything, right? Valerie. Okay. So yeah, Rosie is the person who who signs who answers so fast. Where's Rosie anyway today? Um, okay. Anyway, so this is 75 and this is 75. Okay. If these two are 75, then let's say you're given this side is 5. Then you can immediately figure out that this side is 5. Okay. Very easy to figure that out. So it could be very subtle. They might not tell you, right? And then you just, oh, okay, so these two angles are 5. Okay. Yes, and that angle is exactly right. That could be 30. Okay, but remember the sides are also important. So that's the isosceles. Devin, you were asking what happens if the three sides are equal, right? So in this case, the special case of an isosceles is an equilateral triangle. Okay, in an equilateral triangle, what happens? This side is not only this angle, not only two angles are equal, the third angle is also equal. Because they're all equal, just call them x, and x, and you get x plus x plus x. 3x is 180. They're all 60, 60, 60, 60, right? 60 plus 60 plus 60 is 180, right? Equilateral triangles have very important properties. That's what we're going to talk about right now. Okay, the important property of equilateral triangles, as I mentioned, this is 60 and this is 60. Now, what you do is cut this equilateral triangle into two parts. Cut it into two parts. As soon as you cut it, right, this 60 becomes 30 and 30. Yes, very good, right? So it becomes a 30, 60, 90 angle. 30, 60, 90 triangle, right? Now, it's got some interesting properties. You don't really need to memorize that whatever you want to do, but it's right over here. Imagine this was 2, right? The side is 2, and this side is also 2. But because it's cut halfway, right, it becomes 1, right? So remember, the 2 is the hypotenuse here, because remember, this is 90 degrees now. So I'm just going to break this as a 30, 60, 90 over here. Okay, this is 60, this is 30. Okay, so this is 2, this is 1. And then you can use the Pythagorean theorem, like we haven't talked about it, but we're going to talk about it right now to find out this one. And for those of you who know this, it's actually 1x, 2x, and then square root of 3x. Okay, but we can also think about it like this. Like, let's say this is 1 and 2, and let's say this side is a. Okay, so the Pythagorean theorem, exactly right, front of you. So a squared plus 1 squared is equal to 2 squared, right? And your goal is to find a squared. So guys, please try it, right? It's a nice problem, and you'll also memorize what happens. So a squared plus 1 is equal to 4. And so a squared is equal to 4 minus 1, which is 3, or a is equal to square root of 3. So this guy is now square root of 3. Okay, right? So now look at what we did, right? Without even like, just we came from the equilateral triangle and we're like mathematicians, right? We actually found out this 1, 2, and square root of 3 kind of property, right? This is an important property, right? It's in the cheat sheet over here. Where's my cheat sheet? So in this cheat sheet over here, there's I've written it somewhere, right? It's here it is. Okay, so I just saw it. Here it is. So 1 square root of 3, 2. Okay, so so it's over here, right? You can take a look at this. I think it's useful. Yeah, Valerie, just yeah, send it. Yeah, email me for people who don't have this, and I'll send it to you. Okay. So now, what you got to do here is you've got a 30, 30, 60, 90, right? Remember, the way you think about it is this is 60 and this is 30. Okay. So I would literally like draw another triangle. It just makes my life easier, but you can even memorize it. This is 2x, this is 1x. Okay, the 30-degree opposite is 1x, and then this guy is square root of 3x. Okay, yes, Pranti, just remind me if possible, and I'll send it to you. Okay, so if this is 1, remember now I put an x over here, right? So which means if this is 20, can you please tell me what is this going to be? And then can you tell me what this is going to be? Very nice. Exactly right. So this bottom one is going to be 10, right? Because it's half of this. And this one is going to be 10 root 3. So in this case, the x is 10, kind of, right? X is 10. Okay. All right. So 10 root 3. Hopefully this is making sense to you guys. What's going on, right? As soon as you see 20, you can think about it as 2 times 10. And this 10 is 1 times 10. And then this is square root of 3 times 10. That's why we've got 2 times 10, 1 times 10 and square root of 3 times 10. If this is difficult, watch the video, and if it's still difficult, email me and then we can talk about it a little bit more. Okay, so this is equal 30, 60, 90, a very important property, right? It's also given at the start of your SAT practice test or your SAT actual test. Okay, so let me just open this for you. But I would say you should memorize it, right? I think you should memorize it. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to show you where it is. It's just before the start of section 3. Okay, right over here. So they'll give it to you over here, right? X, 2x, and x square root of 3, right? Special right angle triangles. Okay, math calculator section just at the start of it. Okay, now let's go to this other triangle, 45, 45, 90. That's also an important one. So remember how we did an equilateral triangle, we cut it into half and it became an 30, 60, 90, right? So the same way, if you've got a square and you cut it into half, it becomes a 45, 45, 90. Okay, you cut this into half, it becomes a 45, 40. Wow, what's going on with my lines here? 45, 45, 90 here. Okay, so because this is 90, you cut it, it's symmetric, it becomes 45 and 45. Okay, um, what's the benefit of it is you already can see that this side and this side are the same, right? It's like the half diagonal of a square, right? Diagonal half of a square. This is clearly 90 here, right? What is the property here? If this is a 1, this is 1, this guy becomes, you can call it C, and then you got C squared is equal to 1 squared plus 1 squared, right? Because again, this is, remember, this is the Pythagorean theorem here, 90 degree, 90 degree, okay? And that is equal to 2. So C squared is equal to 2, so C is equal to square root of 2, right? Okay, yes, well said, lad. So you can think about this 45, 45, 90 as x, x, and x square root of 2, right? So let me give you another challenge, okay? So what if this value here is 5 root 2? So what is this value and what is this value? And then find the area. Yes, very good. I think most of you have gotten it. And those who've gotten it, try to find the area of this triangle as of this angle as of this right angle triangle as well. Mhm. Exactly right. So you see how the SAT is combining all of these ideas together, right, to give you the correct question. So 5 and 5 here. And don't forget the area of a triangle. And those of you who don't know the area of a triangle, wow, you need to know it. Okay, it's just email me if you still don't. If you don't know it, I'll give you some IXL drills. But half times 5 times 5, so that's 25 over 2, which gives you 12.5, right? So both of these answers are good. This is how you'll do it. Let me give you another problem of this type. Yes, half base and the height. Exactly right. Well, yes, exactly right, David. So now, let's try to think of another problem here. It could be a bit confusing, but try to solve it. Okay, this is a challenge problem. Okay, so think about it. You don't have to solve it right now, but you've got this guy instead of, you've got 10 here. Okay, um, yes, square divided by 2 works. If this is 10, then try to find out what is x. Okay, so that's practice problem for you. You've got the recording, so try to work on it. You don't need to work on it now. Okay, wow, people are already getting it. Excellent, excellent. So x squared plus x squared is equal to 10 squared. Okay, so you add this together, you get 2x squared is equal to 100. X squared is equal to 100 over 2, which is 50. So x squared is 50, so x is equal to square root of 50. You can think about it this way. Yes, you can use a calculator if you want. Sometimes they might give you the multiple choices here, right? So be careful about this, okay? Now, when it comes to triangles, guys, because you've got square root, right? So remember the radicals property, right? This is a radical. So all of that radicals is inside over here, okay? I've got tons of problems for radicals. I know some people can do some good math, but sometimes they get caught up. Even people who do calculus, they have trouble with radicals. Okay, some of the radical problems are right over here. Okay, what is the formula for? Yes, that's a good one. So let's look at the formula for distance between 2 points. Okay, so you've got 2 points here and the midpoint formula. Okay, so you've got 2 comma, let's say this is 2 comma 5. Okay, now over here, let's say this value over here is 5 comma 9. Okay, so what's going to happen here is this is you take the difference between the y's, which means you take 9 minus 5, okay? And you take the difference between 5 and 2. You put 5 minus 2 here, okay? We're not done yet. You square it and you add it, and that's the distance squared. Yeah, it's a long formula, okay? So the difference between the y squareds plus x squareds this way, right? So this is going to become 3 squared plus 4 squared, okay? Um, yeah, I think you're getting the slope, Nigel. So that's fine. So yeah, so here we are. So you got 9 plus 16, right? And that's 25, right? So now remember that's d squared, right? So very good. So d is going to be equal to square root of 25, which is fine. So this is an advanced formula. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yes, this is actually the very good. Yes, it is the circle formula. It is the circle formula is derived from this. Okay, the circle formula is actually derived from it. Okay, so this is the center of the circle, and then exactly right. Well said, well said, lad. So this becomes the x, this becomes the y, and this becomes your radius, right? That is exactly the distance formula. Okay, so circle and the distance formula are very similar. Okay, and now the other one some of you were asking is the midpoint formula, and that's thankfully that's easier, right? The midpoint formula is easier. You just take the average of 2 and 5. Okay, so the average of 2 and 5 you can put it inside here, right? And the average of 9 and 5 you can put it. So that's easy. Just take the average of 2 and 5, 3.5, and 9 and 5 is 7, right? So it's going to be right over here like this. Okay, so that's the midpoint formula. Just take the midpoints of this x and the y's. Okay. So remember, the x is 5 here and 2 here. So you're going to take 5 plus 2 divided by 2. That's your x. Okay, and then this one 9 and 5. So 9 plus 5 divided by 2, not 7, divided by 2. Okay, so this way. Okay. Um, okay. All right. So kind of like x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Okay. So this is how the formula works. Yes. Remember, yeah, and it's inside over here somewhere in the cheat sheet. Okay. So that's good. I think we are doing good today. So 2 special triangles are done. Let's look at similarity and then similar triangles. Before that, let me just explain to you. And thanks, guys, for your patience. Just give me 1 minute while I explain this. So right now we are in the circle section, right? We're doing angles and triangles. We're in the geometry section. So once this is done, right, we'll cover circles. Then we move on to data. Then we go to word problems, very important chapter. Then we go to arithmetic. Then we cover algebra, and then we come back again over here, right, to geometry. So all of this is part of the boot camp. I'm just going to tell you. I'm just going to give you the just a one quick minute. All of this is for $95. Okay, for people who are new, who have just joined, who are in the um, trial session, right? So you can click on this, right? You can click on this, and then you are going to get $95. You click over here and you can enter your information and you're in the boot camp, right? Once you're in the boot camp, right, like you'll get a lot of resources and you can start studying immediately. You'll also get, if you want, and I know some of you have already asked me and I might have forgotten to give you, but usually what happens is if you're interested, it's not like mandatory, but if you want, I will send you the recordings of the past sessions, right? So you can immediately start seeing all of these sessions, all of the practice problems, and all of the videos for these sessions. So if you have time or if you're short on time, you can solve this immediately. And you don't have to attend every session. You can just attend maybe 1 or 2 sessions per day, per week, and then you're done, right? You can watch the remaining videos. So I think you should be good if you actually take these problems and solve it, right? I can send you the video recordings, right? You should be good in like 2 weeks, right? Yeah, totally. Yeah, by December, you should be good. Like some people do it like in 1 week or 2 weeks because these are the very important problems. Um, Great, Hamza. Yes. So yeah, Valerie, you can for sure. December, you should have. Great, Hamza. Excellent. So yes. Thank you. Thanks, Hamza. So I'm sending you the link, Valerie. If you have questions, email me. But I'll probably be after this session is over. I'll actually send you the brochure, like what's included, etc. And then I'll send you the video recording as well. Okay. So reading, we've done like 4 or 5 recorded sessions, right? So I'll send you those as well. And I'm still recording some grammar sessions, so I'll send those as maybe in the next few weeks. I'll finish some grammar as well. Okay. Okay, so this part is good for people um, who are in my boot camp. I always tell you guys to work on the SAT practice test. Okay, so remember this SAT practice test is something that improves scores a ton. Okay, a ton, right? This I originally got for people in this, right? It helps a whole lot. So work on it, and excellent. So people are already solving it. Excellent. So I like it, right? So you'll really develop a lot of energy doing this. Okay, so Hamza, I'm super impressed. You're getting this as well. Lad, Deliana, excellent. So this is, I think, where Rosie picked up her speed. Like she's doing like two or three at once. But okay, so work on it and you'll get the answer. I don't know what the answer is. Hopefully this is the answer. Um, okay, so take your time and do it again, right? The answer should be correct. All of these problems have come in the test, so work on them. I know if I were to do these problems, I would make mistakes as well. Okay, so don't worry about it. Remember, you just learn and improve your score. Okay, so with that, let's work on similarity and conjoined similar triangles. Okay, so similarity parts, right? So similar triangles. Let's see some similar triangles. Okay. Um, Similar triangles. Okay, so here we are with similar triangles. Okay, so similar triangles, right? What happens in similar triangles, guys, is this angle is going to be similar to this. This angle is similar to this. And this angle here is similar to this. But be careful. Sometimes they might flip it. Okay. Yes. Dilation. Yes. Yes. Sorry, my bad. It means congruent, right? So this angle is same as this. This angle is congruent as this. This angle is congruent or exactly the same as this. The measure is the same as this. Okay. And these triangles are similar. Okay. The angles are congruent or the same. Okay. Now let me show you before. Yes. Good point, Pranati. Now before we move on, there it might be possible that they might do a mirror image of this. Okay, so it's possible they might give you something like this as well. They do a mirror image, so it's a dilation plus a reflection. So it could become like this angle now turned over here, this angle went here, this angle went here, and this angle went here. Okay, so be careful which is which. Okay, but most of the time there it's just a dilation, right? Or right, so contraction. Okay, so the sides are the same, or the measures are the same, and the sides are sorry, the angles are the measures of the angles are the same, or they are congruent. Now the sides, right? There's a special way to do it. The sides are in a ratio. So how do you do it? Let's say this is x and this is equal to 10, and let's say this is 24 and this is equal to let's say something simple like 6. Okay, what do you do over here? So you're going to write down x, right? You take this x first, then you write the division side, do the divided, and find the corresponding and put 10 here, and then go back again over here, then you take 24 and you take 6 over here. Okay, and then you solve it. Okay, yes, it's easy. Yes, yeah, for right angle triangles also we're going to come to that. So this way you can do it, and then you can just take this 10 over here and then solve it. You got 6 4, right? And then you get 40, right? Yes, ratio is 4 to 1. That's exactly right, Pranti. So you can think about these problems this way, right? Now let's take another problem slightly harder. Okay, so let's take instead of this x here, this 24 here. Let's take some slightly stranger examples. Not difficult, but just to just how maybe they can think about it, right? So let's say this one, and then this is 7. Maybe not 7. 4, and this is 12, and let's say this is 18. Okay, so how do you do this one now? So remember, you got x here, you do divided by 4. So x divided by 4, then come back here is equal to 18 divided by 12. Okay, okay, that's an important skill. And I'm giving you right away in front of you, right? Remember, you start with the x. Don't start with anything else, and everything falls in place. X over this is equal to 18 over 12, okay? And then you're going to get your answer. You multiply it by 4, and then you can easily solve it. 4 times 1, 3, 3, 6, right? So x is equal to 6. Very good. Okay, so that's yes, that'll also work, Pranati. Yes, that'll also work. So if you're already comfortable with it, you can do it whichever way you want. Just be careful. This is for people who are having difficulty with similarity of triangles, right? You can use the formula that Pranati has as well. Okay, so this part is good. Let's do a problem, a slightly more complicated problem. So let's do something like this. Um, yeah, it's common. Similar triangles are relatively common. Okay, so I think you might want to work on it. Now, one thing about similar triangles is when they say similar triangles, they might not even say similar triangles. They might say, I'm going to give you the keyword for this. It's going to be A, B, and does anybody know the keyword? What could be the keyword for similar triangles? A, B, and CD. What's the relationship between them? There's a relationship between them. Um, they are parallel. Okay, they're parallel. So when these two lines are parallel, usually, right, it's you should just the light bulb should go on, and you should think, oh, it's similar. Okay, so okay, great, Devin. So you've seen this, right? Because this line is parallel. What does it mean? Like think about it this way: this line and this line is parallel, and now this is your transversal, right? That means this angle is similar to this angle now, not similar, congruent. Okay. Um, Transversal cutting two lines. Yes, exactly right. Not for similarity, you're right, Pranti. Perpendicular might also be used. Maybe I'll think about a problem of that type. And remember, the next one is this angle is similar to this. Why? Vertically opposite. Two angles are opposite, and the same idea here. Again, this is a transversal to these parallel lines. So remember, you don't need to think about, if you start thinking about this, you're doomed. Don't think about it, right? You learned it here. Remember that. If as soon as you see parallel, it means it's similar. Okay. You just jump on the problem. Okay, and then the last one is like this angle is same as this. So now they're flipped, right? So be very careful. Now I'm going to give you the problem to solve. If you can solve this problem, great. I think you really understood it. I'll be very happy you understood this. Every time it says parallel, there's a very, very, very high chance it's going to be similar. And they've got these weird triangles, right? They've got some triangles. Then it's going to be okay. So all right. So let's start now. So let's say, and remember now, because this angle is same as this angle, and this circle is the same as this circle here, right? This guy is now similar to this, not to this. It's kind of like twisted. It's twisted around, right? So this is similar to this, and then this guy is similar to this, and then this one is similar to this one. Okay, so be careful. I know I've made a mess of the paint drawing over here, but let's see. If you've got x over here, you've got 30 over here, you've got 40 over here, and let's say you've got 10 over here. Okay, so try to find the answer, please. Nice, Meet. Welcome to the session. Great. Perfect. Very good. Okay, so how do you do this? You write x, right? Then find the corresponding guy over here. Remember, it's not this one, okay? They might confuse you and they might put like 40 or like they might put like 20 or something over here. Okay, but remember, this is the answer. X over 30 is equal to, go back again to this guy, is equal to 40 over 10, right? And then it's easy. Then you take 30. And if you're having trouble with solving this, then you have to email me and I'll give you the perfect drills to get you better on these kind of fractions, okay? So this is gone, and so you get 120, right? So the fraction, so the ratio of this to this is clearly 4 to 1, but the way you solve it, you just got to be careful, okay? So that problem is very similar to this problem, okay? This is an SAT problem, okay? Extremely similar. Remember, they're also telling you, right? So okay, so they've given you all of this. As soon as you see two triangles and they're kind of like looking similarish, you just jump in and solve it. Okay, you don't need to don't need to read too much about it. Okay, another problem maybe let's look at is this one. So let's try this problem, please. Yes, I did ask you to find x. Yes. Yes, Hamza, I did ask you. So here they're asking you CE. Okay, remember they're asking you CE. This is actually a slightly more complicated problem. Remember what I told you? The lines are parallel. It means the two sides are two triangles are proportional. Lines are parallel. Yes, 8 plus x. Very good, lad. So call this x first because you're in the habit of doing this, right? Now, be very careful. These are parallel lines, right? These are parallel lines. It's given to you. A is parallel to CD. So these are similar. But when they're similar, remember this angle is similar to this, not to this. And this guy is similar to this. Okay. So x over something is equal to the other thing over the other thing. Okay. So x over what? X over 8 is equal to, then go back here again to the same original triangle where x is 5 over 10. Right? Wow. Many of you are already solved it. Wow, that's great. Excellent. Okay, then you move 8 over here. You get x is equal to 4, but that's not what they're asking. They're asking what is CE. So you see how the SAT can trick you? There's like 2 or 3 hurdles you have to jump over, right? So, right? So remember, this is x. They're asking you CE, which is this plus this, right? So you have 4 plus 8, which is 12. Okay, so you see, important keyword here is parallel. Two triangles parallel. These two bases are parallel. It means they're similar. Don't even think about it, working about it. Like just jump into it and think they're parallel and just solve it. Okay, and you literally see it. Like, oh, they've given 3 sides and they're asking for the fourth one or at least a part of it, right? So all of those are the same. Okay, now let's try another one. Let's see. Yes, let's try something like this. Okay, so here what we're going to do is we are going to look at right angles. Okay, now sometimes what will happen is you have this bigger triangle and then you have this small mini triangle, right? Now this one is easy, right? You can easily solve it, but what happens many times, they move this triangle right inside over here. Okay, they move this triangle and doesn't look like a similar triangle right now, but it looks like this. Okay, so anytime they have this kind of a triangle, right, move it outside. Okay, so move it. Whoops, now I can't move it. Okay, so move it outside. Okay, just draw it and try to solve it this way, right? So I'm gonna draw it over here. Again, the hint is, let's say this is A, B, C, D, E, right? So BC and DE, the relationship, if they tell you BC as parallel to DE, right? That means there's these two triangles now. This big triangle and this small triangle. Now they are similar to each other, okay? Now let's try to solve a problem. It's kind of like a bit harder to visualize this, but see how we can do this, okay? So if this is 10, okay, and this is, let's say 2, and then this guy is, let's say 15, okay? So how much do you think is AC? So what I'll do is I'm just gonna have 15 and 10 here. You've got 2 here, and they're asking you X. Okay, all of this is looking very complicated, but actually all it is just this. That's it. There was this triangle here, this small one. I kind of like moved it over here and made it super easy. X over 15, I always start with X over 15 is equal to, again, start with 2 over 10, right? And there you've solved it, right? So 2 over 10 times 15, right? So 2, 5, and 5, 3, right? So that's the answer. So it's 3. Okay. Now, one final thing that could be added, because it's a right angle triangle, as soon as you see a right angle triangle, right, what you can do is they might give you something like this. They might ask you to find this. It might be part of the problem, right? So the part of the problem is going to be 2. Let's say you've got 3 and you got 4. Okay. Great. Perfect, Bunty. So excellent. You liked it. So now you got 3 and 4. Now remember the last one. This is so important. Remember this. the 3, 4, 5 right angle triangle. Okay, 3, 4, 5 right angle triangle. And for the more ambitious one of ones, 15, 12, and 13. That's also another one. Okay, where this is sorry, 5, 12, and 13. You got 5, you got 12, and you got 13 here. Okay. All right. Yes, Valerie. Yes, that one as well. Right. So you can keep generating them this way. Okay. So you got 3, 4, 5. 5, 12, 13. No, there's like a particular formula for it. Yes, 7, 24. Yes, every single one of them, right? Every odd one will work. So 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. I think there's a formula. I forgot. 8 as well works. Great. So perfect. So, but usually there's like a formula for it. Okay, for each number. Okay, but to answer your question, it doesn't work for consecutives. Okay, two of them are consecutive, I think, many times, but sometimes even those don't have to be. Okay, so okay, so 3, 4, 5 is important, and then 5, 12, 13 is important for the SAT, right? They're not gonna ask you more than that. Okay, how is it important? They might not give you 3, 4, 5. They might give you, let's say 6, 8, and 10, right? They might give you something like this, right? So as soon as maybe they'll give you something like this, they'll give you 6 and 10, and they're like, oh, this is a right angle triangle. Maybe I know I spoke, I discussed this with Ash and my friends here in the boot camp. Like this could be a 3, 4, 5. So reduce it, right? This is 6. Maybe this is just 3, 5. And then what is this? This is 4, right? I know there's a 3, 4, 5. This is the twice of this. This is twice of this. So this guy's got to be twice. You don't need to use the Pythagorean theorem at all, right? Yes, just divide, multiply, whatever you want to do, you get it, right? So just for practice, I'm going to give you one more. Okay, so as soon as you see a right angle, just think about it as a 3, 4, 5. Okay, and see if you can get it. So if it's a bigger one, let's say you've got let's say could be super easy to think about, something like 66, 88. Then what is this one? Okay. Okay. Yes. So remember, this is 66. This is 88, right? So this is like a big number, right? This is like 22 times. This is like 22 times. So 5 times 22, right? So that's going to be 110. Okay. Yes, yes. So remember that. So this one is 66, 88, and 110, right? So remember, all of these are just one way to quickly think about it, okay? But the most important one is 3, 4, 5, and still 6, 8, 10, okay? Super easy. So how can they use this now? Okay, so let's use this important idea, and maybe this is one of the last problems for today. It's you've got 8 here, you've got 6 here, right? Now, they might just ask you immediately, they might ask you if this guy is, let's say, 24, then how much is this? Okay, it doesn't look like 24, so maybe I should reduce it. Maybe this is, why don't I just make this just simple, 3, okay? Okay, so remember, as soon as you see 8, 6, and sorry, I didn't mention this is a right angle triangle. This is a right angle triangle. These are similar triangles. Okay, now if this is 6, this is 8, right? You already know, we've already talked about it. As soon as you see a right angle triangle, you saw two sides. The third one is like a 3, 4, 5. Usually it's a 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is 3, 4, and 5, right? Just multiplied by 2. So now you want to find x, right? So x, right? So x over 10 is equal to 3 over 6, right? You can easily see for some of you, right, this is 2 times. So whichever way you want to think about it, x over 10 is equal to 3 over 6. And so to move the 10 here, and then you can find x is equal to 5, right? That could be a harder problem. The other problem could be somewhere like something like this, right? It could be mixed over here. Now that could be a more complicated problem. They give you this to be 12. Okay, this is a super hard problem, okay? Not super hard, meant to confuse you. 16, okay? And then they're asking you if this, let's say this one is, trying to think. If this is 24, okay, maybe not 24, maybe this is 36, then how much is this length? Okay, so again, what you're doing is you're given this small triangle here, you've got 12 and 16. And those of you who followed this, that's amazing. I'm really impressed. Okay, 12 and 16. So that's 3, 4. And then the third one is 5, right? But what's the multiple here? 3 fours are, so this is actually 20 here, right? This is 20 because it's just a 3, 4, 5 triangle, right? It's just a 3, 4, 5 type triangle, right? This is 20. So now you got this to be 20. Now you've got this to be, now it's solved, right? They're asking you what is this side here. So you do x here. So x over 20, right? X over 20. And the other one is given to be 36 over 12, right? So it's 36 over 12. Okay, so I know this is not an easy one. And then you move the 20 here, and then you can simplify it 12 times 1 and 12 times 3. So 3 times 20 is 60. Okay, so this is 20 and this is 60. Okay, I know this is a complicated problem, but if you understand this problem, I think you understood the whole of similar triangles and Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so with that, try to solve this last one, and remember this is parallel. Again, you got the parallel, right? It means they're similar. Okay, remember it's a 6, 8, 10 again over here. Okay, so try to solve it. Take your time and work on it. Okay. So I'm going to give you this problem right over here. Great. So solve it. The first thing you're going to do here is you've got 6, 8, and 10 here, right? 6 here. You got 8 here. And then what do you have over here? That's clearly 10, right? So this part is 10. Now they're asking you what is CE, right? So they're asking you X. You can just ignore this part now. This is finished, right? Now it's easy. X over 10 is equal to 18 over 6, right? So now you got 6 times 1, 3. So you got X is equal to 10 times 3, which is 30, right? So that gives you your complete answer, okay? I think that's about it. I think we did quite a bit today. Let's see what else we can do today. So let's review some of these ideas, right? Let's see. Actually, we've done quite a bit. So what we're going to do now is this problem is easy. So try all of this problem. Yeah, let's do the quiz. Good idea, Hamza. Okay, so let's do this quiz. So let's see how we can do this quiz. Okay, so try this problem and see. Okay, and for people who are new, who have just joined the bootcamp, for whom this is a trial session, this could be a bit strange. This is kind of like we have this quiz at the end, maybe once every 2 classes, right? We have this quiz. Just helps you consolidate all of the information, right? This is from the percents, exponents, and radicals section, okay? Great. Great. So this one is easy for those of you who are doing it. Just bear with me. So you got 2 power half. Very impressed. Okay, so remember, if you got this, if you can solve it in 30 seconds, you're golden, right? If you can solve something like this so fast. Okay, let's try the next one. Okay, how about this one? So write it as a complete square. I mean, something minus something squared. Wow, very impressive. Excellent. Nice job. Okay, so again, to solve this, what you need to do is you take this number, and I'll explain this before, right? You take this number 4m squared, you take the square root of that. So that's 2m squared. That's going to be here. And then the other guy is over here. This guy hiding over here, 36n, 4, take the square root, 6n squared. That's going to be here. Then don't forget the negative sign and then square it. Okay. Okay, let's try this one. Okay. Superb. So here you take the 2 to the other side, you get c minus 2 over 4, right? Again, guys, these problems should be like so easy. You should look at this and laugh at it, right? And like, this is so easy. Ash, can you improve the speed on it? Some of you are doing two or three at a time. So what you can do is you can also copy and paste this link over here, and then you've got two of them at one time, right? So you can solve this guy at the same time. You've got this guy running, you've got this guy running, and then you got this guy as well. Okay, so you can have two of them if this is too easy for you. Let's try a few more, maybe two. Two or three. Okay, so try this one. Um, so yeah, I think you should do it maybe like two or three, like at least once every 2 days. I think you should be able to really improve your speed. Um, you should be able to do it. Um, how to do it? Yeah, people just tell me. So people are telling me like they're doing it two or three times, right? Two or three tabs. So they tell me, and then I am, that's how I know. Okay. Okay. Great. So that's from the inequalities. This is also an important problem. Do these two lines intersect? Which means does it have the same solution? Okay. Does it have any solution at all? Okay. If it does, what is it? Okay. So this one is slightly more complicated. See if you can solve it. I'd be impressed if you can solve it very fast. Um, okay. Um, and remember, these quizzes, they have these numbers. They keep changing. Okay. They keep changing all the time. Okay, so this is the answer for those of you who are interested. Well done, Pranati, Rosie, excellent. So remember, these numbers, they're not the same every time. They keep changing. Okay, so I'll close the session now. So I think this part is good. One more time, right? So guys, people who are already in my boot camp and those who are new to this boot camp, and for those who are in the trial session, remember there's the drills and videos. I call it like the 3 steps. The first step is the drills and the videos. The videos are recorded. You watch them at like 2x speed, and then you've got the drills, which are over here. These are like just foundation, right? Very simple stuff, which are very important for your test. Just assume that you know it, right? If you don't panic. Email me if you don't know these drills or don't know how to solve them. The second thing is the timed test, which is this piece here. Okay, this kind of thing. This is gives you only 45 seconds to solve, right? And then the last one is going to be the drills, the time test, and then these sets of problems, right? These so I've got tons of these problems here. Let me just show you what I've got here. um, SAT 20 practice problems. Okay. So these are the, yes, you're welcome. You're welcome, Deliana Lad. So look at this, all of these problems, right? You get access to this, all the keys, etc. I've picked them up, right? This is, we're now doing angles. The next time we're going to do circles. So let me just show you circles, right? Yes, thanks, Valerie. So all of, where has it gone? Um, Okay, somehow it's not coming up here. Let me just show you over here. Okay, so this one is going to be the next topic we're going to talk about, right? Circles, the various ideas of circles, right? Various properties that you need to use in circles. This sheet is probably so big, it's taking a few seconds to load up. Okay, so how to use circles is what we're going to talk on Friday at 8:30. Okay, all of these properties of circles. Then we're going to go to trig. We're going to look at some trig formulas, the most important pieces, and then we're also going to do volumes. Okay, you don't need to waste time doing a lot of this stuff. I know you're already busy with your 11th and 12th grade, and some of you are in the 9th and the 10th grade. So whatever you're doing, just focus on the most important problems and you're good on the SAT, right? So this is like my practice sets, right? And then the final thing, once you're done, like you should take the full test. Okay, the full test. This is important for you. Okay, so these 3 steps: drills, time test, and practice test, and then take the full test, and then you're golden, right? Right. Most of these things, right? Most of these things are so easy, right? Once you get it, you're gonna do it. Yeah, Deliana, what made me? I just enjoy it, right? I was on Wall Street. I was working on Wall Street. Then I realized this is more satisfying to teach people, and gradually I just did it full time, right? Valerie, get in touch with me, email me. I'll give you more stuff, more practice tests to solve. They're on Reddit, they're on other places as well, but email me. I'll give you the more relevant ones. Okay, so hopefully I asked you. Yeah, I was on Wall Street. I was on Wall Street. So anybody who's interested in finance, get in touch with me after you finish your 12th grade. I'll give you some good ideas of what you should do. Yeah, you can get College Panda tests as well. But remember, the tests that you should do first are the ones that are done, that are released by the College Board, the real SAT tests. Okay, these are the 10 College Board tests. Then there are about 40 tests, 40 other tests. Some of them are PSAT, some of them are other SAT tests that are kind of like on a Reddit page. Email me and I'll send you the link to that page. Right, so that's important. And then you can do the College Panda and all of those other tests. But remember, do the tests which are actually given out, publicly available, released by the SAT in addition to these 10 tests. Okay, so hopefully I answered all of your questions. Okay, great. So this is cool. Yeah, what made me want to become a tutor is like the average score on SAT math is like 515 or something. At least in New York is 515, right? And I thought like, wow, I can get students to like 700 easily, right? So that's what motivated me. Like 515 to 650 is like a no-brainer with this thing. Okay, 650 to 670, 700 plus is a little bit higher. So, but that's what my goal is, like get everybody score up, right? 515 is like crazy. Why should anybody have 515? Right, so that's my motivation to help people improve. So with that, we'll close the session. Email me if you have any questions. For the new people, I'm going to send you like a formula sheet, and also the link if you want to join the sessions. Okay, if you want to join the session, I'll send you the link for that. So with that, I'll close the session, guys. Nice session, and I'll talk to you soon. Perfect. So, oh yeah, the sessions are $95. Yes, thanks, Valerie. So $95 one-time fee. Okay, yeah, Liverpool pool is good. Manchester is nice, right, Hamza? I like Manchester sometimes, but that's my wife's favorite, so I kind of like follow her and do that. I don't know much, but again, it's $95 one-time fee, right? Once you join in, you can do all the 20 hours, and if you want again, I'll let you in again as well. It's totally free as long as you get a great score. Yes, you got to promise me you get a great score, and then I'll let you in again for free. Okay, so just a one-time fee. So with that, I'll check out how Chelsea, and what's the other one you said, Liverpool. Maybe I'll check out some games of theirs. Okay, all right, guys. All right, so I'll see you on Friday at 8:30 sharp. And meanwhile, enjoy your week, and I'll see you then. All right, see you. Bye.